My name is Bennett Shebesta, and this is my thesis on exploring the relationship between income and social support as predictors of pre and post COVID anxiety and depression. This study is a part of a collection of studies to investigate the extended consequences of pandemics. Specifically, this one pertains to the effects of economic stress, which includes any concerns on financial stability, job security, or inability to support oneself and or their family. Before we get to the present day, let's refresh on what past research has to say about economic stress. We have seen that those with worse depression tend to have worse economic situations. We know that those who suffer the most from economic stress tend to be high in trade conscientiousness, and that economic stress tends to correlate positively with general anxiety. Now, in the present time, we have observed a spike in economic stress and anxiety. And we know that when experienced, stress allows for some painful effects. Everything from increased suicide ideation to increased chances of physiological damage, such as inflammation, to the effects that it has throughout the household, including the impacts it has on children. That in mind, it is relevant, I believe, to observe the potential relationship between income, anxiety, and depression. Therefore, the question posed was, during COVID-19, can self-report anxiety and depression be predicted by income, social support, and pre-COVID anxiety? The data used was from a University of Chicago study conducted in 2020 entitled Coping with COVID. Participants were 449 individuals aged between 18 and 72 who completed the survey in 2020. The survey itself was conducted through the application SurveyMonkey. All participants who neglected to answer any of our observed questions were excluded from this study, leaving us with a remainder of 377 for our N. I conducted two multiple linear regression models using the 2019 income, baseline anxiety, and perceived social support as predictors of anxiety and depression. The General Anxiety Disorder 7 was used to calculate our current anxiety scores, and the Patient Health Questionnaire 9 was used to calculate our current depression scores. Our tests found that for anxiety, social support and baseline anxiety were significant predictors. Specifically, social support is a negative predictor and baseline anxiety as a positive predictor. This trend continued for the results of our second model. For depression, social support and baseline anxiety again were significant predictors, social support with a negative relationship and baseline anxiety with a positive relationship. Income was not a significant predictor for either model. These results completely reflect the general stress research, and I believe there are a few reasons why the significant relationship was not found for our focal variable of income. Firstly, this data was collected for a different reason than to look at income, so questions were not designed initially to observe economic factors. The age pool of participants was widespread, but most of the participants were between 18 and 25, comprising about 67% of the population. Age and income tend to be related positively. So, it is possible that a surplus of low-income individuals marked the income question with their parental unit, as that was the requested design. It was intended that participants, if they were a dependent in 2019, were to mark with their household income, allowing for some confounds there. Finally, the study reached across the country, and the cost of living is vastly different between states. The 45 Californians in the study have a higher cost of living than the 31 Wisconsinites, and that's not something that the income question takes into account. Now, for future studies, those issues can be addressed directly by having a localized study of people with a consistent cost of living who are reporting their income accurately. To explore the effects of a lockdown more clearly, there's a possibility of having a simulation where participants play a resource management game, and at some point their income is shorted or cut to a certain point to simulate the drought of income, but it's far more likely that surveys will be the continued method of data collection. Um, Thank you.